Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Wednesday, May 16th, 2012. There's a lot to cover, so let's get right into the charts here. We're going to start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. Futures are trading higher this morning by about 7 points to 1335 and 1335 and a quarter. You'll see futures here have risen really since about 3 o'clock in the morning. That tells us that the US dollar index probably faded around that time. Let's take a look at the dollar chart. Here you can see the dollar falling right around 3 o'clock in the morning. Dollar comes down, market moves up. Now, it's not a big decline for the dollar. The US dollar index futures are still positive by about 7 cents at the moment. But what you want to watch for is if the dollar starts to move higher, that means money from Europe is coming into the US dollar, and that means the equity markets will drop and deflate. Stronger dollar is very good for a U.S. citizen or anybody living in the United States, as you could purchase goods cheaper here. If anybody hasn't noticed, but gasoline has gone down, oil has gone down, and those are all good things for U.S. consumers, as they'll have more discretionary money in their pocket. But nonetheless, the dollar is down a little bit off the highs, but it's still positive on the session. Now, let's not make any bones about it. The dollar is a little bit overbought at the moment, so we could be due for a pullback in the dollar, and we'll see if that does help the markets to catch a bid today. But nonetheless, the markets will go down if that dollar goes up, and that's the bottom line. Let's take a look at gold and oil today. We'll start off with the GLD. GLD, you'll see, is trading off of the lows around 149.58, but nonetheless, it is still down from yesterday's close, which was 149.74. I believe spot gold is also down today. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's down about 15, 16 points at the moment. So again, gold is down around $16 to 15.41 an ounce. But if the dollar starts to fall, you'll get a bid in gold today. At least that's what I think, if the dollar does start to come in. So we'll have to watch that US dollar index closely. If the dollar starts to pull back, watch for a bid in gold, watch for a bid in oil, and obviously the equity markets will get a bid as well. Okay, let's take a look at the USO today. Spot crude, I believe, is lower as well. Light sweet crude in the U.S. is trading down about $1 to around a $93 level. You'll see the USO trading down here around 35 bucks. Pretty good support down here. Maybe it goes a little bit lower if the dollar rallies, but there is a fair amount of support for the USO down here around the 35 level. We'll see if that can hold up today. But nonetheless, oil down again. And this is all you got to do is just watch the dollar. If the dollar strengthens, commodity prices come down. No need for the president to spend money on an oil task force or a gasoline task force. Look at the price of gasoline. I'm going to show you the UGA here just over the past 2 weeks. Here's a 60-minute chart. You'll get a better visual. Look at that, how that has fallen. So really, traded as high as 58 bucks, now down to 51, and this is the U.S. gasoline fund. So it all comes down to what the dollar is doing. The dollar is just so important. But look at that fall there, and you can see how quickly gasoline prices have come down, and I'm sure you see it at the pump as well. All right, let's get into a few other things right now. I'm going to talk real quickly about Greece. It looks like they're going to have a new vote, new election on June 17th. So that buys the market a little bit of time. Obviously, that's going to help the equity markets if the dollar can pull back and give it a little bit of leeway. I think that might be in the process of happening right now. So new elections for Greece, June 17th. Let's take a look here at a few other things. You're going to have economic news coming out around 8:30 in the morning. You're going to have housing starts. That's just about 2 more minutes from now. Right now it's 8:28 a.m. On the East Coast in the United States. But at 8:30 you'll have housing starts, and then you're going to have, I believe, industrial production at 9:15. And we'll just see how the market reacts to those news reports. Again, I think the most important news report you could follow is the chart of the U.S. dollar index, and that's the honest truth. All right, let's take a look here at some stocks in the news today. I'm going to start off with Cena Corp. Company reported earnings. Let's just go to get rid of these lines. Company reported earnings today. You'll see the stock is trading up to 57.19 a share. Closed yesterday at 51.68. very, very good move. This is a strong gap up. Let it run. The stock actually has further upside to go. You're going to hit good resistance, probably around the $60 level, and then all the way up to around the 65 level. But there's no reason to get in front of it after earnings. It's a strong gap up. You want to respect that. China and Asia, for the most part, was down across the board last night. So if the U.S. markets start to get weak, this one could start to slip. You did have the Shanghai index down 1.2%, and the Hang Seng, which is Hong Kong, down 3.19%. Real ugly across Asia last night. Everything was down, so all the Asian ADRs will likely be weaker today. But nonetheless, Cena Corp having a nice bid after earnings, and that's all that matters. Now, a stock that's not doing too good after earnings is J.C. Penney's. This stock really got an enormous bid in earlier in the year into February as they got the new CEO in place, the guy from Apple, I think Rob Johnson. He may have to go back to stick to iPads because this is not working out with J.C. Penney's. Stock is getting hammered, and I do use that word, hammered, this morning. Let me find you some levels that I'm looking at. This is just not a pretty picture for the stock. Stock is just getting demolished this morning. Right now, you're going to probably look, to be honest, you have to probably go back down and look at 23 bucks, 23.50 in that area. That's the only line that I see worthwhile here for J.C. Penney's. Otherwise, the stock looks like it just wants to go lower. It is not a very good move today. It's a decently strong gap, but when you get a gap like this, normally the stock's going to go all the way back down and retest. Basically, it'll go back down and retest its August 2011 lows. So let it get down there. I would not get in front of this one at all. Let's take a look here at Target. Target came out with earnings as well today. Stock is trading at 56.15, closed at 55.08. Not a big deal. I don't want to make too much out of these earnings. I think the stock has a fair amount of support at 55. So we'll give it the benefit of the doubt that it could trade up a little bit. But nothing great, nothing terrible, and really nothing to do. Let's take a look at Abercrombie & Fitch. I don't know the news on this one, but I did see the stock was down. Again, this stock is going to have some support around 40 bucks. Maybe 40.25 in that vicinity. That's where you could look for a bounce. I think it's a decent chance for a bounce opportunity intraday. So watch for a bounce right there around $40, $40.25. Give or take. That's where you could look for a bounce on Abercrombie & Fitch. Other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot to do at the moment until it gets down to that level. Let's take a look at the OSUR. This ticker, this stock is having a big day today. It is overbought, so please realize that. Yesterday the stock closed, I believe, at $9.10. Today it's trading all the way back up to $12. I believe they have an HIV test kit used for the homes that's going to get an approval or close to getting an approval. It's a good move. I don't think there's a lot to do here either way, but I would not be a buyer up here as I think the stock is just overdone. It's overextended. It's just not a good risk reward at this point. Let's take a look at Deere. Deere had earnings. This is one stock in my life I've always had trouble trading, so I'm going to be a little bit on the cautious side with this one. But nonetheless, stock is trading at 78 bucks. It's a strong gap up, so it has further upside to go. As long as the markets are strong today, this stock could run up a little bit. It has already pulled back from the 79 level, so just expect it to be volatile. Please understand we're in the middle of options expiration week. This is what we call Whipsaw Wednesday, usually the most volatile trading session of the entire week leading up to options expiration. So watch for a lot of volatility today. You certainly will get it. You want to be a little bit careful there. Okay, that pretty much covers it. Looks like we have housing starts out. Looks like for the month of April, 717,000. Building permits are down 7% in April. That's a big decline there versus March, which they were up 8.8%. So again, I don't think the news is all that big a deal here. You can take a look at the futures, kind of right where we left off. It's all going to be about the dollar. If the dollar fades, market moves up. The dollar starts to rally, market moves down. It's just an inverse relationship, and until that relationship breaks, and I don't know when that will be, that's what you're going to have to watch for. But right now, it's as tightly correlated as ever, and that's what you need to know. Alrighty, everybody, we're going to leave it here for today. I want to thank you all. Have a great trading day, and we'll see you all on the charts tomorrow morning. Take care now.